we go now.
If you are ready to live a life of abundance, if you are ready to best your best, then come to the edge. Because if you are not living your life on the edge, you are taking up far too much room.
Here we go now.
To the edge, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Eric Brown, and with me in studio, Mr. Mike Jones.
What's up, Eric? How you doing, man?
Oh, man, living the dream.
Hey, man, I am so excited about all of the things that we've been able to do so far during these podcasts, man. We've got so much positive feed forward from the people that have been viewing the podcast. And I'm excited to bring some more positivity to this thing.
Yeah, all of you all are bringing a big value add. So keep it coming as we continue to best our best.
All right, so where are we going today, man?
Yeah, man, let's just jump right into it. I had someone reach out to me recently.
Okay.
And they were in the planning stages of their business, and they had a plan A, and they opted for a plan B for contingency sake.
Okay.
So from your perspective, when you're in the planning stage, is that a good move?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is that it is important to have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, you're already planning to lose, to fail. So get a plan. Take a moment, as Eric just said, to make sure that you consider all of the things that need to be considered while you are putting that plan together. I can remember working on a project with Coca-Cola, the 2002 Winter Olympics. The plan was so good. And one of the best things that we did prior to the execution of the Olympics is we did a run through of the plan. So we knew exactly all of the things that could possibly go wrong. We knew all of the things that would go right. As a result of that, I convinced them that we did not need a plan B. So I know some of y'all just fell off of your chair there, but I want you to consider this. If you take the time to have a great plan A, why do you need a plan B? Whatever things that you have in plan B that would allow you to be successful, those things need to be in plan A. So in other words, if I have a plan B, then I already have a plan to not succeed, because all of my energy, all of my focus is not in my plan A. I am focused on what if something goes wrong.
Yeah, but Mike, you got to have a contingency plan. Some things will go the way you want them to go and others will not. So the plan B is just focused on a greater success in case there's a contingency.
Well, see, and Eric, I absolutely disagree with that. And that's what I've heard from many business owners that I've had this conversation with. But what I finally get them to understand is that if I have a plan B, think with me here, process through this for me just for the moment. If I have a plan B, I am focused on failing. I am focused on something in my plan A not being sufficient enough to get me to the finish line. If whatever I have in plan B is going to be the thing that's going to get me over that obstacle or that circumstance, that needs to be in my plan A. If I execute my plan A with a complete focus on playing full out, if I execute my plan A with a 100% focus on winning and being successful, that means that I don't need a plan B, because everything in my plan A is going to be sufficient enough to get me across the finish line.
So you're saying if something that you would put in plan B will get you to the finish line, you put it in your plan A from the start.
Absolutely. Doesn't it make sense?
Okay, got it.
So I'm going to say that plan B is a contingency plan.
Okay.
What if happens and if I fail? But if I'm planning not to fail, my focus is on failing. So if I'm focused on succeeding, if I'm focused on giving 100% of my energy to my plan A, but being willing to do whatever it takes if something does go wrong, that's my plan of action moving forward.
Got it. Some, though, would say it's almost scary to not have a plan B. What would you say to that?
And I would agree with you. Indeed, it is, because that's the way that you've been playing this game. So it sounds logical and reasonable to you. However, what I am saying to you, when you are truly committed to succeeding, when you're truly committed to focusing on a positive outcome, you will only move forward and only forward when you commit to that plan A.
So I've heard you say in the past that your plan of action is to be in the moment. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know what? I'm glad you asked, because we're going to be talking about that in an upcoming PODBLAST. We're calling these PODBLAST now, y'all, not podcast, because we just want to bring this powerful message to you in little small bites so that you can absolutely digest it. But we want to talk about that more in depth in our next PODBLAST.
Okay, well, you heard it here first from Mr. Mike Jones. Y'all, if you're not living your life on purpose, you're taking up far too much room.
Far too much room. So you know this, baby. When you only have a plan A and you get rid of that plan B and you start playing to win, focus on winning, you're going to be out on that edge, because that's going to be a little uncomfortable to you, because that's not what you've been doing. But if you are not living your life out there on that edge, you are taking up far too much room.
Here we go now.